going to get there, but then again, we're going to go right on past, and, well, my prediction today is 20 degrees. Barbara's 21. It's not going to get to 21, all right, but 20 degrees easily today. We're coming into a brand new weekend, too, by the way, Friday, June 25, and, well, I tell you what, let me do this.
Galaxy 107fm.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and for everybody that's joining us live, Facebook Live this morning, nice to have you guys along. If you're going to be watching a little later on over there on YouTube, you know what to do, right? No, you do, you really do. Sub, thumb, bell, bingo, and believe me, you can't go wrong with that bell, simply because you get notifications later on when we have important people, and today is no exception. Believe me, I'm really, really excited about this. Paul Mayo is joining us, coming out of the UK, and believe me, Sussex, believe me, I've been there, had a look around there in my younger days, so, well, we're going to catch up with Paul Mayo, but I tell you what, if you haven't heard of Paul Mayo by now, and believe me, I know you have, yeah, spill it up right here at Galaxy. So we'll go live after we do this. Sean Simpson's with us again. Nice to have you on board, Sean. Believe me, we love you, darling. We really, really do. And thank you for joining us. Coffee, yeah, that's all they'll let me drink. Is coffee. We did the other one.
On the other hand, Paul is drinking Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm jealous. All of these interviews, Paul, I got to be honest with you, originated from, well, us, me and Barbara doing a Monday night show, and nobody's around on a Monday night. You know what I mean?
No.
Doing a Monday night show with our friends from around the world, getting drunk. Right?
On Skype.
And the board came to us disgusted. They says, we can't have that. It's not good for our image. You know, so they says, come up with something else. So we've been doing this for almost 7 years now.
Right. Oh, brilliant. Good.
And we've done thousands and thousands of these. We really have. And we still know each and every person. We still keep in touch with everybody. And when they come back,
really good.
You know. So
yeah, excellent.
Welcome to the family, Paul.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Pleasure.
Believe me, it really is a pleasure. Scott is on.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Mr. Noel.
Yeah.
Yes, from British Columbia is joining us. Nice to have Scott on board as well. And of course, Sean Simpson is in the house. Love to have her with us as well. Hello from Calgary. Nice to have you with us, Scott.
Yeah, meet Paul from the UK.
Yeah, meet Paul from the UK. At the same time, it is an absolute pleasure to be able to play your music. Now, we won't be playing any ads through this. We might play ID stingers before and after a song, stuff like that. But it's about you, it's about your songwriting, it's about your abilities as an artist, and the music that you produce, stuff like that. So,
thank you. That's kind of you, thank you.
But we like to have a bit of fun as well.
Yeah, good.
Okay, so be aware I might give you a left field kind of question or something like that at some stage.
That's all right, no, that's all good, honestly. Good.
Cool. Okay, it's only because I'm a Kiwi, bro. Okay. Almost English, we were colonised, all right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Similar.
you're right. It's starting to heat up here at the moment. 14 degrees right now. Weatherman's winning, but believe me, we're going to shoot right on past that, get to 20 degrees. Don't worry about Barbara's 21 degrees. It's not going to happen. But you know what? We're coming into a long-range weekend too, believe me. Not looking glorious, to be honest. It is Friday, June 25, coming into a brand new weekend, and what a way to be able to celebrate a new weekend than heading offshore. We're going over to the UK to catch up with new family member, Paul Mayo. Welcome to the family, Paul.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
It is an absolute pleasure to have you. And by the way, I've got to say, I'm loving the shirt.
Thank you. After lockdown, I'm trying to find things that still fit me. Obviously, just we've been locked down for so long, and we've got that lockdown bulk thing going on. So I'm kind of limited at the moment. It's either something baggy or thin.
No, absolutely love the shirt, and I'm loving your microphone in the background as well. Very professional. Now, at the same time, we opened up the show with Fill It Up. Now, tell me a little bit about Fill It Up. How did you come to the lyrics of that?
With that one, I like to try and write things contradictory, maybe. So with that one, there's an idea that when we're growing up as kids, we're kind of told to toe the line, do as you're told, and be a good boy. Don't go against the grain. In effect, joining a kind of production line of human beings, really. And sometimes I think the hero is the person who goes against that grain. Don't be the first to toe the line. I mean, it's some of the lyrics like that in there. It's that kind of thing. It's not aggressively defiant, but it's just kind of a message to say that don't be that hero, because people do often see heroes in life as the people that are very subservient, obedient, do exactly what they're supposed to do. And I think if we all live like that, I don't think we'd progress anywhere as humans. So that's kind of the message of that song.
You know, my father said always ask questions, and guess what I ended up doing? That's what I do for a living now. I always ask questions, and believe me, politicians don't like me. And, well, not all of them anyway, to be honest with you. I do tend to ask the hard questions from time to time. Now, Paul, as a fan, I don't listen to music as a fan usually would. You see, I'm a DJ. I'm also an engineer. I've been an engineer now for almost 40 years, having worked with some of the biggest bands in the world, I've got to be honest with you. Not only studio, but front of house as well. And, well, I listen to your music, and I absolutely love your work. I really, really do.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I got to be honest as well, it's not easy getting an interview with us here at Galaxy. Paul Barbara gets between 30 and 50 bands a day wanting to do the interviews, wanting to do the promotions, the whole enchilada. And then, well, there's only a certain amount of time in a day that we can do these, right? So we got to whittle it down to something reasonable, workable, and maybe we can get through it. So we only choose the good stuff, the absolute good stuff. And believe me, Paul, I absolutely love your work. I really do.
That's very kind. Thank you.
Barbara, of course, goes to production, and Barbara, they sort of nut it out and work it out. And then it's got to go to a board of all things. Now, the board, any given board meeting, could be 8, 12 people.
Right.
They're only interested in our image. You know what I mean? So that's why it's got to be good. And then Barbara gives it to me. Now, this is really cool. She gives it to me on a USB kind of deal that I Bluetooth onto my car stereo. 2 reasons why I do that, Paul, and believe me, you will completely understand this. First reason, and believe me, I've got a kick-ass stereo in my car. I really do.
Right.
In fact, I can have it louder in my car than I can any time at home because the wife won't let me. You know what I mean? She says, you have enough.
Too well.
You have enough of that at work. You're not doing that at home. So believe me. So I listen to it in my car for 2 reasons. First reason is nobody can influence me on whether or not I want to do the interview. It's all based on the music. I don't get any information, no title, no name, nothing, just the music. Do I want to do an interview with this artist? You know what I mean? Second reason, by the way, is nobody else wants to drive with me.
Oh, right.
They kind of think going sideways is weird. I don't think so. Well, even Barbara won't do it. But, and this is really crazy because her son is a champion car racer that goes sideways. Right, her grandson is a champion,
Right.
New Zealand champion car
No,
racer.
no.
Goes sideways. Get in the car with me, go sideways, let me the hell out. Okay, fair enough.
Madness.
Yeah, don't get it. I really don't get it.
No.
Sean Simpson says you guys rock. Well, thank you, Sean. We really, really appreciate you and love to see you in these interviews all the time. Believe me, we really do. And thank you for tuning into Galaxy, by the way, as well. Now, I got to ask you, as a fan, I've got a fan question for you. How do we get hold of you, Paul? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram?
Yeah.
Are you on Twitter? But more importantly, Paul, do you respond?
Oh no, I do respond. Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I'm a little bit of a technophobe. I'm not one of these gifted individuals, so I'm a bit clunky. But I do always respond. Yeah, so I'm on Facebook predominantly. Some of the others like Instagram. But when Instagram first was a thing, it was more like putting your photographs on, wasn't it, and just kind of showing the world these great snaps you took. And then I must have blinked, and it all of a sudden become this huge thing that I'm way behind on. So I'm trying to get my head around that a bit more. And Twitter, Twitter is I'll try and get into that. But yeah, I'll always respond straight away.
Yeah, well, believe me, Paul, I would have said no. Literally, you're going to get about 5,000 Facebook fans now, literally. You'll be spending all day, all day, every day, typing. You're going to get sore fingers and thumbs and stuff. You'll never get anything done.
I love it.
Nice. And believe me, Paul, I don't. Well, you know, being part of this radio station, and believe me, there's a huge amount of us here, but it takes up a great deal of my... Sometimes I put in about 18 hours a day, you know what I mean?
Wow.
It can be very demanding, let's put it that way.
Imagine, yeah.
So believe me, I just never find the time. But at the same time, do you have a website? Can we download music off your website? And more importantly, do you have a merch store?
I don't have a merch store, and I do have a website that's in the kind of the beta stage. It's just that I was just, funny enough, I'd set it up just before I signed to Do It Records with Paul Marshall. So I think I was probably going to wait for some kind of discussion with him if he was happy with the way it looked before I launched it. But it's there, it's ready to go, and I'm guessing that we can set it up. Music can be downloaded from it. So yeah, that'll be something. It's kind of all done. It's just a couple of clicks of a button, I'd imagine, and we're good to go. But I'm a bit of a procrastinator as well, so maybe that's probably part of the reason why. But yeah, I'll have that discussion with Paul and see if he wants to kind of oversee it, and we'll do it.
Yeah, you might need some cream for that procrastination, though.
yeah.
Yeah, sort of that one. Yeah, you don't want to get a procrastinator.
Itchy.
Yeah, literally it does. It kind of. Good to mention Paul Marshall as well. Paul Marshall from Do It Management, good friends of ours here, of course, being out of Auckland, is Paul, and well, we've known him for a while. Good drummer too, by the way. Really is. And of course, we know his band Hangar 18 and yada yada yada, and a number of things that he's been invested in over the years. And believe me, including bringing bands into the country as a promoter and everything like that. He does absolutely wonderful. We work hand in hand in that aspect as well. So
yeah, there's a strange thing as well. Paul actually was born in Essex, about, I don't know, 2 or 3 miles from where I live now. So at some point we may have even crossed paths, but it's just weird that we end up communicating, and he signed to the label, and he actually is an Essex boy as well.
Isn't it weird you got to go to the other side of the world to meet somebody from your own backyard?
Yeah, crazy.
That's fantastic, it is. And believe me, Paul, it happens. Believe me, I was touring with a band, a very well-known band out of Australia. It had 4 letters to its name. Started with an I and ended with an X. But I'm not going to tell you who that was.
No, of course, no.
But I toured with them for about 36 months. Sitting in a pub one day after we'd done a show, literally we'd escaped, gone back to the hotel, had a bar downstairs, and I didn't feel like going to sleep, so I'm sitting in this pub, and this girl comes up and she goes, "Oh, hello, I'd like to have a drink with you," because we were the only couple kind of people in the place. It was 4 o'clock in the morning and everybody was asleep, you know what I mean? But the barman was quite a chirpy guy, so we decided to have a few drinks. And she goes, "Where are you from?" And I says, "Well, I'm from New Zealand." She goes, "Yeah, I thought I recognised my accent." And I went, "Yeah, I get it. I thought, where are you from?" She goes, "Te Puke." And I went, okay, fair enough, you know. So I had to go all the way around there. Yeah, literally. And this was in Chicago at the time, you know what I mean?
Oh,
So,
wow, right, okay, yeah, so yeah, madness, isn't it?
crazy place to go and meet another
Yeah.
Kiwi, you know. Could have done it at home. Nah, she wouldn't have been interested, actually, I'm sure. And we used to have valets when we were travelling with this band that we used to try and dump, literally.
Right.
Every city we went to, all they wanted to do was go to the meets and greets with the officials, the dignitaries, stuff
Yeah.
like that, the museums, the art shows, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we want to go and find town and find out what it's about. You know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
Yeah, but there's a clause there that says if you get hurt or you get killed
Yeah.
or something like that, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
well, that guy was a stickler for that clause, and we were a stickler for see you later, right? You know? And I'll tell you a story about Amsterdam as we go through it. You'll love that one. You really will. In your street, tell me about this. Are we talking now a river, a creek, or are we talking about the interweb?
No, a lot of what I write about, I get influenced from all kinds of things. Sometimes scripture, sometimes just a book I've read. But the idea of the body of water it means so much, doesn't it, to so many different people. And this idea of people get baptised in streams, people live by streams. The idea in this particular version of it, though, is that a stream is a kind of the water part of it really is instrumental in survival, isn't it? So we can wash our clothes in a stream, we can drink from a stream, life can grow by a stream, and it's the idea, it's metaphorically speaking, that I'll be the stream for that person. I'll give you what you need in life. That song, actually, funny enough, was written for my mum because my mum was going through a bit of a bad time, suffered a little bit of mental health throughout her life. And that was a song really about that, how I can be there as a kind of a shoulder for her. And I just like to try and think a little bit beyond the normal for the lyrics. So that, to me, the idea of being a stream, being something there for everyone, but in this case for my mum.
Absolutely brilliant. So believe me, folks, you've asked the question. Here it is. Paul Mayo, I am your stream right here at Galaxy. How you feeling, Paul? You okay?
You're good. No, good, thank you.
Nice.
That's good.
Nick Kershaw, bro. Did you meet him?
Yeah.
Did you meet him?
Not really. We see him come in, but it was like a fleeting exchange, really. A changeover. Have you met Nick Kershaw before?
Yeah, he got me fired.
Yeah, he's not the nicest of people, is he?
No, it wasn't that. It was my fault.
Oh, right.
It was all we went and picked him up from the airport, got him to his hotel, right?
Yeah.
Because we had a record company back then that just says, Grant, you're the leading DJ, but it's your night off. How would you like to go and do this? And you don't have to go mixing and being a front of house engineer. Just look after the guy, So I went and picked up my brother. We went and picked him up, took him to the hotel. Then he goes, I feel like a little, settle your nerves drink before I go on stage. I went, sweet as. So, this is 2:00 in the afternoon. So,
Yeah.
well, by the time we got him on stage, we were holding him up by his shoulder straps.
Oh, really?
He was pussy-faced.
Right.
And the event managers looked at us, looked at him, looked at us and went, you're fired.
Oh, really? Oh, at least it's left you with a good story, though, didn't it? That's the thing.
Well, he didn't get the show done anyway, we had literally...
I mean, it was a very brief exchange. I say we supported. It was an '80s revival gig in Chelmsford in Essex, which is a city in Essex. And I've kind of seen him about before in interviews and the things. And I suppose everyone has got their own priorities in life. Really, his priority is probably just to get there and get his job done. So he didn't need to come over and start having loads of deep conversations with us. It was okay. It was kind of just get him away. Really, I'm up next, that sort of thing. But I'm not precious.
Well, I don't know, bro. I think you're well on your way to be that, because you're really getting a huge following here.
Really? That's really good to know.
As it says, we're in, 75 countries around the world this
Yeah,
morning.
yeah. Amazing.
We are a global station, bro, and we have a huge following. I'll give you the numbers after we do this.
That's brilliant. Thank you.
Believe me, bro.
Honestly, it's lovely.
You will be surprised. After the interview too, by the way, we do actually do a few funny things. We do some crazy photos. We take some crazy photos of ourselves, send them to you.
Yeah.
We take some with you as well. Barbara makes a movie out of the interview as well. You'll get an ability to be able to get it on YouTube, but she will give you a movie of the crazy photos and the interview. And then, let's put a cherry on top of that one, she'll also send you a cartoon version of it.
Oh, wow.
That's fantastic, it really is.
Yeah.
I actually look good as a cartoon. I do.
That's a cool beard, by the way. I love the beard.
Yeah,
It's an awesome beard.
took me a couple of weeks. I've got a friend of mine coming out of Canada. His name is Tim Steinreich. He does a ZZ Top deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got this fantastic beard. It really, really is.
Yeah.
Loves it. Let's go to the desk, bro.
Galaxy.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 20 minutes away from 11 o'clock in the morning, 13 degrees downtown. It's sort of slipping back, so I'm kind of worried. For once in his life, the weatherman might actually win this, and we're going to move on to 20 degrees, believe me. Friday, June the 25th, and I'm talking to Paul Mayo, and believe me, I'm absolutely elated to catch up with Paul, because I want to talk to him about, now he's featured in many TV commercials and films, and also worked with acclaimed horror director, Leonard Gernot. Tell me about this. Did you appear in the movie itself, or the movies itself?
No, I didn't. No, this was an Irish horror film, sci-fi horror film, and this was whilst I was the lead singer of a band called Electro Kill Machine. Because we are from Basildon in Essex. Basildon's kind of the starting point really of the synth pop new wave scene of the UK. Obviously, it was a more predominant music style in parts of Europe, but Basildon was really the starting place for like Depeche Mode and Yazoo, and various other artists. And this Irish horror director is a huge Depeche Mode fan. He didn't have the budget to get Depeche Mode, so he got us instead. So he asked for a couple of our tracks to appear in his film.
Very cool. Believe me, I've been in a couple of movies myself. They played in Japan. Okay, that's the
Right.
best I could
Scared
get.
to ask.
Yeah,
Scared to
no,
ask.
believe me, it was the best I could get was Japan. But okay, yeah, fair enough. Hey, you got to start somewhere, right? Yeah, I mean, world domination is door by door, isn't it?
Absolutely, and Japanese thing's huge. I've done little bits of background work and film work, but I found that it was long days, and you'd scramble to the cinema if it was a cinema quality, or to the nearest sale bin at a petrol station to get the DVD of it, and you'd see yourself, maybe like an elbow of yours, or you might just see the back of your head, and you got to the stage where it was probably more hassle than it was worth. But yeah,
I remember those days. Believe me, I've appeared in a number of TV shows here in New Zealand,
right,
as an extra. Believe me, more fun being an extra than being the star, actually. It really is. I was in movie. I don't know whether you saw them over there, but I was in things like Hercules, for instance, and Xena, Warrior Princess, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So believe me, back in those days, you were lucky to get a finger in, or unless you were being thrown somewhere.
Yeah.
Now they love
you. But everyone's fighting to try and get on camera, though, aren't they? This kind of like passive shuffling into the camera shot to try and get on, and it was quite funny. That's the funniest thing about it, really. It was this, but no one had a cat's chance in hell of getting on screen because you literally were just there for your torsos. No one really cared about you being there. But,
exactly. But I tell you what, you got paid more if you did the fight scenes and they threw you and it looked dangerous. You know what I mean?
Is that right? Okay.
Oh yeah. Believe me, come out of there, I'm fine, believe me, just pay me, and I go home and go, oh my God.
Yeah, I think I got paid a bit more because I had quite long hair at one particular film and they had to cut it short, and so I got a little bit extra for that. But
yeah, believe me,
very, very unglamorous, but good fun still. It's still gives you a story to tell, doesn't it?
Exactly, it does. It really does. I should tell them about Heinz Means Beans. Right, okay. Believe me, I think I was about 7 years of age, and this guy comes up to me and goes, I'd like to put you on a TV ad. And my father goes, who the hell, what the, And for real, he actually meant he wanted to put me on a TV ad, which ended up being a Heinz Means Beans thing where I was bouncing on a trampoline, which ended up being the lid of the can of beans. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, that's cool.
And my parents got paid very handsomely for that.
Did you get a share?
I never saw a bean. Not a bean, believe me. And even the cans were waddies that we have here in New Zealand, so I didn't even get to see any of that. Having said that, my friend, are you familiar with Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, well, let me tell you about that while we're talking about directors and movies and stuff like that. About an hour and a half away from where we are right here is actually the Middle Earth, the Hobbiton, the original set, and we can take you around. Well, actually, the staff can take you around and show you around there because, believe me,
cool.
I'm not allowed back. Unfortunately, there was something about a security guard's cart going missing or something like that.
Any little thing in it, any little thing.
Yeah, but believe me, I know where it ended up, in the lake. It did, actually.
Probably deserved it. He deserved it.
Yeah, well, one of these, okay. But having said that, I went to university down in Dunedin, down the bottom of the South Island, and one of the guys that was doing drama and learning how to make movies and stuff back in those days was a guy called Peter Jackson. And
of course, yeah.
Knew the guy very, very well. In fact, he used to ask us all to judge his latest work before he handed it in. And believe me, you should see some of his earlier stuff.
Well, I've seen Bad Taste. Was that his first? Yeah. I've got it on VHS. I've got it on VHS in the loft.
Okay. Have you seen Meet the Feebles?
I know the film. I don't think I've seen that one. I've seen what was it? Brain Damage? No.
Yeah.
Was it Brain Damage? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple of films with similar titles. But yeah, I've not seen Meet the Feebles. I know of it. Is it good?
Yeah, well, believe me, if you like the Muppets and you like the Muppets adult version,
right,
go and have a look at Meet the Feebles. You believe me, you will absolutely love it.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, including all the cars of Morris Miners.
Oh, well, okay.
That's it. Yeah, believe me, it was
cool. Yeah,
it was fun getting all of those. It really, really was. But that goes back in the days when I first met the guy. If you know what I find it hard to call him Sir Peter now.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's going to be strange. Isn't it?
It's not going to. It's always Pete to us. Turn up with your beer and your ciggies and you'll be right. Yeah.
He strikes me as the sort of guy that, obviously I don't know him, but he strikes me as the sort of guy I wouldn't imagine would be too precious about having a title, is he? I don't know. Or does he? Does he like to? Who knows?
Yeah, but believe me, I haven't seen him for a number of years, to be honest. He does keep in contact with us from time to time. And,
that's good. That's sweet,
and believe me, I get a lot of the Knights of the Realm that chase us down. Believe me, I really do.
I can only imagine, yeah.
No, believe me, Barbara and I were out one day in Rotorua, came back and the shopkeeper says, Sir John Rolls was looking for you. And we sort of, nah. So we come into work and the wife comes up and she goes, look at this. Sir John Rolls has been looking for you. And we went, get real. This is getting a bit old, this joke, right? So we went through the day and the phone rings and I pick up the phone and this guy goes, Grant. And I went, yes. He goes, it's Sir John Rolls. Where the hell you been?
Yeah.
And I'm going, really? Yeah. He wanted an interview, so we granted him an interview. We really did.
Absolutely.
Said he was downstairs and banging on the door at the time, sort of kind of feel obliged now.
You acquiesce. Yeah, why not?
Talking about Tim Steinreich, he's on board. Good morning, good afternoon over there in Canada, Tim. Nice to have you. I was telling Paul about your beard, and how you do a ZZ Top deal and stuff like that. Very accomplished artist. He comes from the band The Mighty One, which is coming to New Zealand as soon as we can get the borders open and get internationals back into the country. Now,
yeah, absolutely.
With us working with Paul Marshall from Do It Management, would you consider coming to New Zealand for a tour?
In a heartbeat. Definitely.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, because we would love to be able to have you here in New Zealand. Believe me, with the amount of attention you're getting from the audio audience, that's what we call them. We don't call them fans. We call them the audio audience. With the amount of requests we're getting for you, we kind of feel that maybe, just maybe, it'd warrant doing that, not only here, but maybe in Australia. But that's only because we like their money, right?
I've got some friends in Australia. I've got a few friends in New Zealand as well.
Yeah.
So it'd be fantastic. I'd love to.
Yeah, in fact, maybe we should do Australia first and desensitise you after that.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I do actually. Do you know much about New Zealand?
Not a great deal. Not a great deal.
Okay, let me give you the skinny on this really, really quickly. We're made up of 3 islands. The one right down the very bottom, down by the pole, is called Stewart Island, right?
Yeah.
The only part of New Zealand that actually got a name, because whoever named us, besides being Aotearoa, the land of the long white cloud, the next island got south. And then the one after
have ideas.
Yeah, the one after that. Believe me, just no imagination. The one after that got north, right? I mean,
right, okay.
Yeah, I'm into renaming things. I've got to be honest with you. I think Stuart is a nice, healthy name.
Yeah.
Yeah, where did we go wrong with South?
Scottish.
I mean, seriously, South? Gosh. Oh, okay.
So I know your population is quite small, isn't it? I think is it less than 5 million, is it, or something?
Just on 5? Yeah.
Is it 5?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, just on 5 million at the moment. Thank you. And 37 million sheep.
Sounds like Wales.
Yeah, it sounds like Barbara's backyard too. She's got a few sheep at her place, she does. But, she won't let me ride them.
Yeah, spoil's fault.
Yeah, I mean, fond memories as a kid doing it. What's wrong now?
You're too big.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Gosh. Paul is some great music. Yes, Tim. Absolutely. As you know, Tim, only the best music plays on Galaxy. Only the best music gets interviews. There you go, of course, Tim.
Thank you.
Yeah, believe it. 37 million sheep. Thanks. I've got to be honest with you, Paul. I'm no good at sheeping. I just, Barbara asked me to look after a sheep one weekend. I lost one.
Right.
Took me 3 days, but I found it at the local bordello in Rotorua. It had $20 and a phone number stuck to it.
Oh, right.
Right.
I was keeping it real. Good segue. Tell me about Real.
Real. That was written really. I think that I tend not to write songs. I don't write throwaway songs. That's the thing with me. I don't write songs about nothing. They always seem to have a story to them. And this one particularly was when my partner and I first got together. I suppose with any relationship, you get together, there's a level of insecurity. When she was pregnant with our first boy, there's this kind of natural levels of insecurity. Poor woman's body is going through all manner of craziness that us men can't really relate to. So that was kind of what Real was about. It was just trying to reassure that nothing else really comes close, and believe me on that really. But it's like a reassurance song really, I think.
I get it. I really, really do.
Yeah.
Marion Peterson is joining us as well. Nice to have you on board, Marion. Here, live is Paul Mayo and Real at Galaxy. Paul, have you ever tried vegan sausages?
I have.
Have you? Are they made of real vegans?
Could well be. My sister, not my sister, my brother's girlfriend's a vegan. I mean, of course, we give her a level of abuse, but it's all like, tongue in cheek. But you know, do you eat vegan food?
No. I've been asking everybody, literally. I mean, the day I found out that Girl Guide biscuits weren't made of real Girl Guides, just destroyed them.
No, it's not fair, is it?
No.
You sold a lie. No, with vegan food, I want to say it's okay, but I've only kind of eaten vegan equivalents of stuff that you really got to be. It's really got to try hard to get it wrong, you know, like a vegan sausage roll.
That doesn't sound appetising at all.
No, really.
I'm a vegetarian, I'm sorry, you know what I mean? I am. That's why I ask people. But having said that, Paul, I was talking to a couple of vegans not so long ago, and I said to them, where do you guys hang out? Do you guys hang out together? Do you go out drinking on a Friday night? And he goes, yeah, we do. I says, so okay, you go off to the pub on a Friday night, you have a few of these, before you know it, you get upset with each other, you go out to the car park to have a dust up. Is it still called having a beef?
It's funny. I do feel sorry for him because when we all get together, I've got three brothers, so we often get together, all of us, and when we're allowed to in this country. But we often get together and we have just have a few drinks and start playing. And the poor girl, she's always targeted. It's always a load of really stupid questions about veganism, and it gets to the stage where she probably feels like the only identifying feature is her veganism. And the questions we ask her are just we don't really care what the answer is. We just want to ask her questions.
Of course, absolutely. Believe me. I know exactly. Yeah. Hey, listen, I've got a blind friend of mine, and I met her at the local Superette just a couple of days ago, right? And she says to me, Grant, do you know what would scare the hell out of a blind person? I went, what? And she goes, when she's reading in Braille, don't touch. And that's sick. Tim Steinreich says beer is vegan. I'm more of a goat guy. Nah. Nah, I'm not. Come on, Tim. I'm not.
We don't eat our goats.
No, we don't eat it. We don't even milk our
We do
goats.
process goats and send them overseas, though. They leave New Zealand
Goat guy.
every day.
Hey.
Every day.
So, okay, you come from England. You would be able to give me the best skinny of them all. Is James Bond, the next James Bond, gay?
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Well, you do realise when Daniel Craig broke his ankle in making the last one, of course he was down for about 12 weeks, which is a huge amount of time when you're involved in the movie industry, tied up in money and stuff like that, waiting for your star to get right. So they did put out a little feeler there for a little while saying that they wanted to make James Bond, or the next one, female. You may have heard this, right?
Yeah, I heard that.
The world went crazy. They literally says, no way. Ian Fleming literally wrote James Bond as a man. Moneypenny, okay, Moneypenny is a female, yeah, fair enough. And Felix Leiter, you know, Felix is always a guy as well. You don't want to make him a woman either. And believe me, there's been some very formidable female gangsters in James's life. But then they said, you know, the world says, well, okay, don't do that. Keep him as a male. So then the rumour has gone out now that, well, they've compromised, they've made him gay. Do you know what they're going to...
I don't know about that.
Do you know what they're going to call him?
No, go on.
U7.
Good grief.
You got to wonder what he's going to do with this Walter PPK now, right?
Breathe.
breathe, just breathe. You're talking to a Kiwi. I warned you at the start of this.
Yeah.
Believe me, it will look so much more funnier in cartoon version. It really will. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, Paul. Libertine Chorus. 3,300 requests. In fact, 3,373 I've been told since we've been playing it. This is making an impact. I'm finding it hard to get through a breakfast show without playing it. Tell me, what's the secret to your success?
That song, it was, years ago, I used to do, when I was at university, I went to university in Liverpool, and to make a bit of side money, I used to go around a few DJs and do a bit of freestyling. It was never really freestyling, so I always had an idea of a song I was going to sing, but I didn't always know what I was going to sing it to. And that just started out as something, without sounding cringe-worthy, it was just a kind of like a sexy kind of lyric, really, and it kind of went down well at nightclubs. So then I kind of sat down with it and thought, well, I can probably make that into more of a song. So added extra bits to it, a bridge, and made the chorus a bit more distinctive. And I think when I started pushing that around, it was when 50 Shades of Grey was a big thing. The whole kind of Mr. Grey, and it was just a little bit of a smutty song. Like, not smutty, but it was kind of, it fitted in well with the whole 50 Shades of Grey time frame, really. But it just we've done alright, didn't it? It seemed to kind of tickle a few people's fancies. I can't really say why. Just has.
It was the very first song that I heard of yours, and I absolutely loved it. As I said, I get no information, just the song. And on that basis, I went, yes, I want to do this interview straight away.
Oh, bless you.
Had no idea about anything, just wanted to do that. And I have watched it progress with our audio audience. They have absolutely adopted the song. In fact, they keep on requesting it. We played it for a good week or two without saying a damn thing. Just played it. People just gnaw stuff out into everything, and our poor receptionist, she started off by putting it down on paper, little sticky things, and handing it to us, because that's how we put a breakfast show together, is on how many requests we get for different stuff. But at the same time, there's no harm in putting something out there, putting it, like a toe in the water kind of thing, and seeing what sort of reaction we get to it. So the receptionist Sarah comes to us, starts writing it down on day 1 and day 2. By about day 7, she's progressed now to a USB and goes, look, you guys deal with it, all right? We are getting that many requests for it. They absolutely love it.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
So thank you. That's really good to know.
Without further ado, Paul, here, joining us live from the UK is Paul Mayo, and the most requested song here at Galaxy is the Libertine Chorus. Check it out. Yeah, believe me, bro, this one is rocking. I'm finding it really hard to get through a breakfast show without at least playing this once.
Oh, that's brilliant. Do you know what so when I've done that song, it was just kind of, I'm just a bit of a sexy song. It's pretty cringe-worthy to say like that, isn't it? But it was trying to do something a little bit, like I said earlier, I don't like to do throwaway songs, but I suppose funny enough, this is probably the closest to a kind of, it doesn't really relate to any aspect of my life as such, but I suppose we're all human at the end of the day, and we've all got those urges, so I suppose it does relate back to us in some way, shape or form, I guess. But it's just one of them songs, really. It just it seemed to flow really well when I was singing it at nightclubs and raves around Liverpool. It was slightly different, more repetitive, because you've only got you just literally, aren't you, when you're freestyling or when you're working with like house and garage DJs, you just kind of, it's really repetitive, isn't it? So but it just seemed to get a little bit of good feedback then, so that's why I thought about putting it down as a song. And yeah, I was pretty surprised how many people said they liked it. It's lovely, it's great.
It's appeared now at number 12 in our Pops charts.
Wow.
So we're playing it regularly. We really are. So I've got to congratulate you, Paul. Believe me, it's not not easy to get on one of our charts. It's just how many people have been requesting it and how often we are, playing.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Honestly, I really do. It means a lot. It means a lot. I think we see Paul Marshall liked that song, and he was talking about, which I totally agree with. Maybe doing a more polished remix of it or something, or just getting it bigger, because a lot of the stuff I do or have done is self-produced, I do it all most of myself. I do get other musicians in to help me as well, but I think there's more scope for that to be done bigger. And I know that Paul uses a great producer who's the son of Sid James, as you might well know. So that's another conversation we're going to have. But I think that was definitely on that plan, and then all of a sudden Paul heard Stay Afloat, and that something I really like Stay Afloat. Let's do something like that first. So we're definitely going to go back to do Libertine Course. And if anything, this conversation we've had has actually probably made that more of a priority, I think, now, because it's good feedback, isn't it? You work from feedback.
Absolutely, my bro. And believe me, I live for this stuff. I really do. Literally, bro. And I hope you're going to come back and release more stuff with us in the future, because believe me, we would love to be able to continue this relationship on, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. Let's consider it done then.
Nice, because believe me, I'm loving your work. I really, really. As I said, I'm an engineer. I don't listen to it on a regular fan basis. I break it down in its increments and want to work out stuff. So I'm very, very happy to have the relationship we have, bro. Thank you.
Perfect. Likewise. Thank you.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM 5 after 11 o'clock, 16 degrees. So we've gone past the weatherman, heading to my winning 20 degrees. Don't worry about Barbara's 21. Not going to happen. Really isn't. And she's not back until Tuesday anyway, so I'm not going to tell her after all. It's Friday, June 25th, and nice to be joined, coming out of the UK, by Paul Mayo. And got to say a big shout out to Paul Marshall, coming out of Auckland from Do It Management as well. Thank you so much for putting us in touch with this. And believe me, this is an absolute pleasure, because today we get to release to the world a brand new song. Tell me about Stay Afloat.
So Stay Afloat, it's kind of disguising itself really as a bit of a kind of a heartbreak song. I suppose in some way it is really, but it's more to do with the fact that it's kind of touches upon mental health and the struggles around it, and how sometimes the person most important to you in your life is there as a crutch for you, but we don't always take into consideration that we're dragging them down rivers. So like a more floating metaphor, I guess. But it's the idea is really looking at the lyrics. It's trying to, that person can't leave you as much as you're being a burden to them. It just, you saved me once before. Can you just give me one more chance? And it's kind of a fighting back song as well. So it is packaged up as a kind of a heartbreak song, really, I suppose.
I understand that. I really, really do. And believe me, my bro, again, we've been playing it, and again, it's starting to pick up momentum here at Galaxy. And it is an absolute pleasure to be able to release this to 75 countries around the world this morning. Believe me, this is fun. Right here at Galaxy, releasing today, Paul Mayo, Stay Afloat.
Thank you.
How you feeling, Paul? You're not tired or anything?
No, I'm all right. No, we've actually just ended Friday now in the UK, so happy Friday. We're 5 minutes in.
Well, welcome to today.
To the 21st, I guess. Yeah.
Believe me, I met you so much yesterday.
It was nice yesterday.
Today's a new day. This
Yeah, it is, and unfortunately, I'm the first thing you see in the morning. Oh my God!
Yeah. Yeah, imagine.
Yeah, you might need another one of those JDs.
Yeah, do you want one?
Yeah, I'd love one. I'd love one.
Imagine
But my
waking
bosses
up
wouldn't
with
hear of it right now. Because after this, I've actually got to go to a council meeting because they're having a to-do right now. So I've got to do that. But believe me, this is the fun part of my job. You know what I mean? Meeting people like you, talking to people like you. And I sure as hell hope that you're going to continue making great music because I need to keep my job.
Oh, bless you. Yeah, no, there's no sign of stopping. In fact, I'm working on something now. I don't like to. Obviously, it's not ready yet, but I've been working on a track. And you know, sometimes you do something and you think, yeah, I'll put that away for a little while and come back to it. This is something I'm working on, and it just seems to be falling into place. I'm quite excited about it. So, but I want to get it right. So there's no rush in it. But it's one of the things. It's built together really quickly.
Awesome. Well,
yeah, I'll get it ready and get it to you straight away as soon as it's done.
Please do, because as I said, we love your work. We really, really do. And we'd love to get behind you. Are you familiar with the Galaxy Artist page on Facebook?
No, we're not friends on Facebook yet.
No, because I'm invisible on Facebook. I did see it today, funny enough, because
Okay.
I got an email and a message. So I wasn't up until then because
Okay.
it was, I think,
May I suggest, first and foremost, may I suggest you friend Barbara Harkins on Facebook.
Shall I do it now? Shall I do it whilst we're live?
You can. We've got about 45 seconds. But
Oh,
then
right.
with the Galaxy
We'll sort
Artist
it out
page,
after.
it's free for artists to do whatever they want. If they've got a shopping list,
Yeah,
if they're
came
releasing
up
a
on
new
my
song, if
post.
they've bought a new
Post
shirt, if
just
they've bought a
now.
new car, if they've had a new baby. But you never know who's in there looking. And there's,
Absolutely.
agents and all sorts, so please use it.
I will. Yeah, I will.
Am I passing through? Am I passing through? Am I passing through? Galaxy FM.
That's fantastic. I love that song. Stay afloat. Paul Mayo coming out of the UK, and he's joining us live right now. Paul, we are going to have to wrap this up right here, but please don't go anywhere just yet. But I do have one other question for you. Will you please come back again and release new music with us in the future?
That's a promise. 100%. It'll be my pleasure.
Absolutely stunning, my friend, and it's an absolute honour to have you now part of the Galaxy family. You've done an interview. Feel sorry for you because now you just anytime you feel like it, just hit us on up and say, hey Grant, we've got something we want to get on the air. Will you do that?
Love that. Yeah.
Believe me, and believe me, keep in touch with Barbara. Be in touch with her. Believe me.
I've followed her now as we spoke live. I've done it. Yeah.
Nice, because believe me, she is an absolute gem. Everybody needs a Barbara. They really do. And
I agree.
She goes over and beyond her duties to be able to make artists happen, make them work with Galaxy and be able to do these interviews, stuff like that. So please keep in touch with her. Paul Mayo, right here at Galaxy. Don't go anywhere, Paul. We're going to do a couple of crazy things next. But for everybody that's watching us live on Facebook right now, or going to be watching us later on over there on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. Yes, you know what to do. Sub, thumb, bell, right? Have a good day. See you next time. You're right here at Galaxy.
And now, it's time for a classic.
Galaxy.